Every home buyer I have worked with in the past year has had concerns about the housing market that many real estate gurus are talking about. And when I polled you guys, 40% of you said that your concerns about the housing market is the #1 reason that's holding you back from buying a home right now. Sure, no one can 100% predict the future. The fact of the matter is, you will only lose when you sell. And that's what I'm going to be breaking down for you today. I'm Nicole Nark, Arkansas real estate broker, and welcome back to my channel with videos to help you find your way home. Real estate markets are constantly in this cycle of going up and down with appreciation and depreciation. Overall, the good thing is that real estate prices have a tendency to go up. The problem arises when you react to the hype of the moment without taking into consideration the overall long-term trends. In 2006, my family moved from Georgia to Oregon, and we bought this beautiful new construction house that we thought we would be in for many, many years to come. If I can find a picture, I will insert it into the video. Little did we know that only 3 years later, my dad would get a job transfer again and we would be moving out of state. Our beautiful home that we loved so much and bought in 2006 was now valued at $200,000 less in 2009. And we sold it for a large loss. What sucked the most is that we did not know that we had other options. We had to move, so we sold. Lucky for you, by the end of this video, you will be equipped with options so that if you ever find yourself with the need to sell, but home values have plummeted, you will know what to do. You may be familiar with the law of physics, that what goes up must come down. A similar concept was proposed by British polymath Sir Francis Galton called mean reversion. So you may be wondering, Nicole, what in the world is mean reversion and what does that have to do with anything? Mean reversion explains that markets go through rapid appreciation and depreciation. And in time, these markets will revert back to a price point where their long-term appreciation shows that they should be. In a nutshell, this just means that prices go up and go down, but like when you stretch out a rubber band, they snap back to that average mean. So when they are overall in the long term trending upwards with appreciation, it doesn't matter necessarily when they go up and down along the way because they're still continuing upwards. If you take a look at housing from the 1980s all the way to today, this principle still holds true. Let's take a look at the housing price index for the United States. Home prices in Q1 of 1980 were given a value of 100. So all years here afterwards are values compared to pricing in the 1980s. Looking at the history of home pricing can give you a good idea of how the real estate market reacts to different financial climates. From 2001 to 2007, housing in the US boomed. Now, there are many factors that led to the appreciation and then depreciation of real estate in that time, but we can save that for another video. From 2007 to 2012, home prices dropped like crazy. It was in these years that my family lost money. But remember, you only lose money when you sell. According to mean reversion, prices are always going to revert back to where their long-term appreciation says that they should be. So even though the graph we looked at has a scary wave in it, take a look at this. Look at what happens if we put a line through it. After the crash, prices picked back up where they would have been in the first place if we did not have this spike and then drop in home values. This concept of mean reversion can be seen by many financially driven markets. Now, if you are a fan of Warren Buffett, you know that he is a big advocate for following the long-term trends rather than reacting to short-term extremes. But what if home prices are down from when you bought your house and you need to sell? Good news! You've got options. Rather than taking a loss by selling your home in an economic downturn, The first option that I want you to consider is renting out your home. During economic downturns, the demand for rentals often goes up, and so do rent prices. By renting your property out, this would allow you to hold on to your property so you wouldn't need to sell at a loss. Your mortgage payment would most likely be covered by the renter paying the rent. And in most cases, market rent prices are going to be higher than your mortgage payment. So in turn, you may even end up generating yourself some cash flow. The second option that you have is to consider rent to owning your property out to someone who may not be able to get a bank loan and buy it right now, but would be interested in paying you monthly with that option to buy it down the road. This is also known as a lease option. And if your house is in somewhat of a tourist market, the third option that you have to consider is listing your home on Airbnb or VRBO to see if you could get some short-term renters in there. So let's look at that chart one more time with our new knowledge. If you buy here right before the prices spike super high and sell after the crash or really kind of in the middle of it, you'll be okay. Your value of your home has still gone up. But if you bought a house here at the peak of the market and you find yourself needing to get out of your house when home values are down, that is when you need to entertain one of the options that you learned about today. Of course, no one can predict the future, but you have other options besides selling if you find yourself in a bind. And remember, friends don't let friends lose money. So share this video with anyone you know who is buying a house or currently owns a house and has concerns about how the housing market and a potential crash may affect them. And if you're looking to stay updated on what the real estate market is doing, I have made other videos, which I'll link over here on this channel, and make sure to subscribe. I put out new videos every single week to keep you guys as updated and as informed as possible. I will see you in the next video.